Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. I am Becky, and I can be found as Becky Burns Gibson on Ravelry, Pinterest, and Instagram. So today I just wanted to catch you up on everything that's been going on around here. So I'll start with past knitting projects that are done and behind me. First I have my husband's socks. So I made this sock out of Regia 6-ply, design line by Arnie and Carlos. And it's a really thick and it was really a fast knit. I did not use a Kitchener stitch on the toe. I used a crochet hook and I just crocheted the toe together. I regret that in the future I would use a Kitchener stitch. I just forget how to do a Kitchener stitch most of the time. And I was in a hurry to get these socks finished for my husband. And he loves them. So next I have just a vanilla hat. I didn't use a pattern. I did 1x1 ribbing on the brim, and the rest is stockinette stitch. And I made this out of some hand spun yarn, and it was hand spun from fiber that was merino and tencel. It was a merino and tencel blend. And I just love how it turned out. It's real shiny and just soft. I did make it rather big, however, but at least it'll fit. The next I have the blue color shift hat. I got this as a kit off of yarn.com, which is the web's website. And it was very satisfying. It was very satisfying to make. And it really ended up being a great hat. Next I have the Andy and Chulo hat. The last time that I showed this hat on one of my podcasts, I had not finished weaving in the ends or adding the tassels or blocking it, but now I've completely finished with it. I love the alpacas that are on this hat. There's alpacas on the ear flaps. And then there's tiny, tiny alpacas right here on this row. I was very satisfied with this hat by design, but I am disappointed that it doesn't fit me. It's too small. It would fit a small adult head or a child's head. And I have asked the children in my life if they wanted it, and they did not. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I will find someone knit worthy to give this to. So this was a yarn that was, I don't have the label with me right now, but this was a Miss Babs Yowza Mini in a DK weight. And this I didn't have, I didn't use a pattern or anything. I just casted on the number of stitches I thought I needed, and I did the whole hat in stockinette stitch. And it really turned out great. Fits very well and everything. And this yarn was beautiful. I don't know if you can tell on camera or not, but it has dark purple, light purple, green, yellow, cream. It really has beautiful colors. It's a beautiful yarn. I wanted to make a Noro scarf. I did not use a pattern. I just did garter stitch on the whole scarf. And I had 3 colorways of Noro yarn. And I used all 3 of them, and they look like they all go together on this scarf. It's really nice. And you know, Noro has the content of their yarn is wool, silk, cotton. It's a nice blend. So this sweater is not going to be too hot for our Tennessee winters. So I'm really pleased with this. It took me quite a long time to knit it because it is a garter stitch scarf, and it was, you know, got to be kind of boring and tedious after a while, but I did end up finishing it up. The color changes, I found myself looking forward to the color changes in the yarn as I went along. I think it's just beautiful. Okay, another project that I wanted to show you, I did not make myself, but I thought it was worthy of showing on the podcast because my daughter made it. She made it to wear to a Renaissance festival that we had locally, and she didn't end up wearing it because she wasn't satisfied with how it looked. But she made it out of felt, and she used fabric stiffener and fabric glue to create the curves of the flower petals and the leaves. And then she painted it. And see the detail that she made on the leaves? I just love this. How about that? Good job, daughter. So of current projects that I'm knitting on, I have a sweater that I'm making for my granddaughter. It is in the Easy Baby Knits book by Claire Montgomery, and it is the double-breasted knit coat. And I'm making it in a size 24 to 36 months. I'm using Big Sky Yarn Company. It's an Aran MCN, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon in the colorway pecan. So I have completed the back, one side of the front, including the buttonholes, the other side of the front, see what a pretty fabric that this pattern makes. And I'm working on one of the sleeves. So I still have both of the sleeves to complete. And I'm using my Diacraft needles. They are 6" and they are apple wood. And they really are as good needles as what they are hyped up to be. Diacraft needles, I highly recommend them. See, it's spelled Dyakraft, Diacraft, and they're not sold anywhere. You have to buy them on their website, Diacraft's website. Also, I'm working on a cowl. This is how much I've gotten done on it so far. I'm using alpaca yarn. I'm using 2 different colorways, 2 different yarns, and I'm alternating each row. So the first yarn that I'm using is Yarn Bee Authentic Hand-Dyed Alpaca in the Velvet Thistle colorway. This is 100% baby alpaca. And I got it at Hobby Lobby. And I just love it. And it was a great price. It was $14.99. I paid considerably more for this yarn, which I bought at the Joy of Knitting in Franklin. But it is natural undyed alpaca, and nothing feels any better than natural undyed alpaca. It's storming here, so you might hear some thunder. You might hear some sound from the storm. I apologize for that. This was the only time I could find to podcast. Oh, this yarn bowl is cute. It's got a bee on it. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and I paid $13.99 for it, and I just love it. Okay, I'm also working on a dish rag out of some sugar and cream yarn that I bought at, I don't know if I bought this at Walmart or if I bought it at Hobby Lobby. But I love the green color, the greens. So that's my crochet project. Sometimes I pick it up when I'm watching something on TV. I also wanted to share with you my current spinning projects. I have 2 spindle projects going on and 1 project on my spinning wheel. So first, let's talk about this spinning project. It's a fractal pack that I purchased from Naturally Knitty on Etsy, and this is called Happy Day. And see how beautiful the row legs are, and they just spin up so well. So what makes it a fractal pack is you have a pack of row legs, and then you have a bat. They're the same colorways, But you get maximum barber poling when you spin fractally. Spin fractal. This is what I've done so far. I've spun this cute little single. And next I'll be spinning up this bat and plying that single with the single that I spin from this bat. My second spinning project on spindles is another fractal pack from Naturally Nitty. And it is called Hulk Smash. And you can see why. I just love purple and green together. I just think it's wonderful. And here's the bat. So fractal spinning, you spin the bat separate from the rolags and then you ply them together. And this is a single that I've made, a ball from the single that I made from the rolags. I need to get busy on those, spinning up those bats to ply that with. And then I have my, the spinning project that I'm doing on my Babe Production spinning wheel. And I'm spinning 16 ounces of Governor's Gold from Paradise Fibers, paradisefibers.com. And it is 70% dyed Corriedale, 15% mulberry silk, and 15% viscose bamboo top. And just look how beautiful that is. And here is what the bobbin looks like. What I've spun up so far. I think it spins up beautifully. In other projects that I have some sewing that I've been doing. And the first project I want to show you is a quilt that I'm making. And I'm making it primarily from the Summer in the Cotswolds charm packs and fat quarter bundles. And I purchased additional fat quarters from my local quilting store, and I've added that in with the Summer in the Cotswolds. Here's some of my prettiest stars. This one is just gorgeous. And some of them I did with the a little bit differently in the corners. There's another one. See the bees on that print? It's part of the reason why I bought Summers in the Cotswolds, because it had the fabric with the bees on it. I love bees. Another project I've been working on that for sewing is the Simplicity 9265. This is one of Simplicity's newer patterns. And this is what I've gotten done so far. I've gotten the bodice and the collar done. I've gotten the zipper inserted into the back. And I have the sleeves done. And I think this is going to make a really pretty and stylish dress. I'm making it out of a flannel that I bought at Joann Fabrics. And I thought it was a winter print. I really like it. And I'll let you see it whenever I get it finished. So one of the reasons that I like being on Ravelry is because it's a social media site for knitters, crocheters, and fiber artists. And I have been wanting a set of Knitter's Pride marbles, interchangeable needles, for a long time. But you know, they stopped making the Knitter's Pride marbles needles some time ago. It's spelled MARBLZ. And I went on Ravelry and I left a comment on a thread that said I was looking for some Knitter's Pride marbles needles. And I heard from someone that had found them on eBay, except they were mislabeled. They were labeled as Knit Picks Options needles, but in the picture they showed that you could tell that they were really marbles needles. So I purchased them. I got a really good buy on them. The case came in cracked or cut, so the case is not you know, I'm not pleased with the case, but I'm very pleased with the needles. And they appear to have never been used. And the knitting needle set has all of the included accessories with it. So it's not a used set, it's a new set. I have size US 4 through US 10. Here we go. I purchased a Knitter's Pride marbles straight needle set. It was one of my first knitting needle sets that I purchased. I purchased it at the House of Yarn in Nashville. And I love the way that they knit. I just love the way they felt in my hands. And by the time I went to look for a set, they were not making them anymore. So I feel lucky to have found this set, you know, cracked case or not. I feel lucky to have found them. Next among, you know, my new things, I have Harry Potter Knitting Magic. And it's by Tanis Gray. And I love this book. Let's see if I can find... I didn't mark it before I started podcasting. Okay, Behind the Magic Scarf. That scarf is worth buying the book for. But I didn't buy this book. My son gave it to me. And I appreciate it so much. He also purchased for me Star Wars Knitting the Galaxy. And I just love it. Let's see if I can find in here. There are so many good patterns in here. Okay, this scarf is the Starfighter scarf. So, you know, like the scarf in the Harry Potter book, this scarf is worth buying the book for. But I didn't buy this book either. My son bought me this book. Don't I have a good son? And I purchased this Harry Potter book, Harry Potter Knitting Magic, More Patterns from Hogwarts and Beyond. This is also by Tanis Gray. And I purchased this at Barnes & Noble. I have also purchased some new yarn. So this yarn is from one of the new lines that they have at Hobby Lobby. Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed, and it's in the Tiger's Eye colorway. And it is 100% superwash merino wool. And I can't wait to use it. The colors are just beautiful, the blue and the brown and the cream. This is Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed Alpaca in Velvet Thistle. The other skein is the one that I'm making the cowl out of. I think it's very affordable, $14.99 for a 100% alpaca skein of yarn. It's a wonderful price. Now this I thought was beautiful, and I'll hold these up together because I bought them with the intention of making a shawl out of this with a trim made out of this. This is Yarn Bee Authentic Hand Dyed, and it's in Shibori Blue and Dark Denim. And they are 100% superwash merino wool. And those, of course, are from Hobby Lobby because that's the new line that's at Hobby Lobby. At Bliss Yarns in Brentwood, I purchased Knitted Wit Worsted. No, I did not. I purchased this at the House of Yarn. That's where I purchased this, at the House of Yarn in Nashville. And this is Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument colorway. It's 100% superwash merino. This will be a hat. Also purchased at the House of Yarn in Nashville, Knitted Wit Worsted in the John Day Fossil Bed National Monument colorway. It is 100% superwash merino. I purchased this sock yarn, also at House of Yarn. Old Rusted Chair. And the colorway is Umbrellas Don't Block Prayers. And this is 50% superwash merino and 20% nylon. Also purchased at the House of Yarn is Spin Cycle yarns. 100% wool. In the Mississippi Marsala colorway. I don't know what I'm going to make with this. I just thought it was pretty. And I have so much sock yarn that I'm going to make socks out of. I get tired of making socks that are all one color, so I bought some sock yarn minis at the House of Yarn so that I can use them for heels and toes of my socks. So these are Old Rusted Chair, and they are 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. So this is called Shag Carpet. And it does look like the 1970s shag carpet. The color does, if you remember those. And then this one is No Roots. This one is Double Cross. This one is Riding the Storm Out. This one is Popsicle. And this one is Before Midnight. Now, in addition to the yarn that I purchased, I have also spun a few skeins of yarn. So I have 86 yards of Blue Face Leicester in the Lucky Adelaide colorway from Three Waters Farm. And this is how my yarn ball turned out looking. That was 4 ounces of fiber, and it made 86 yards. Of kind of a lightweight, bulky yarn. Then I purchased the Coming to Light colorway by Three Waters Farm. It is American Merino, 80%, and 20% cultivated silk. And I had 4 ounces of that, and I had 4 ounces of Corriedale, plain white Corriedale. And I spun those separately as singles, plied them together, and I'm very pleased with what I came up with. And I got 148 yards, and it's also a light bulky. And most recently I spun Peacock Feathers Gradient Bat by Bellevue Fibers. And I ended up with I think it was 162 yards. And it's a bulky weight. I had 8 ounces. 200 grams. I had 200 grams. And this I chain plied so that I could keep the colors and not have a barber pole effect. But I had a solid color as part of the gradient. Next, I wanted to show you some of the fiber that I've purchased. I sort of went a little crazy. I bought so much fiber. But now I have a good stock of fiber. I can spin anytime I want, any color I want, any um, any fiber content that I want. I purchased two 4-ounce um, two 4-ounce packages of the Humble Company colorway. It's superwash merino and cashmere style nylon. So this is meant to be for socks. It is from Three Waters Farm, and it is meant to be for socks because it has the nylon content. Earlier I mentioned that I had made some yarn, spun some yarn. I showed you out of the Lucky Adelaide Blueface Leicester top from Three Waters Farm, and I have another package of it. So I think what I'm going to do this time, instead of plying it on itself, I think I may chain ply it. So that I get, so that I get a non-barber pole, a yarn. Barber pole's okay, but sometimes you want solid colors that sort of transition into other colors. I purchased 2 packages of Spring Loves Caprice colorway from Three Waters Farm in merino, 80% merino and 20% Tulsa silk. So there's 2 4-ounce packages, and I have a total of 8 ounces. Isn't that beautiful? I love purples and greens together, and this has purples and greens and yellows. Pink. I joined the Three Waters Farm Top of the Month Club. I love their fiber preparation, and I love it so much I joined their Top of the Month Club. And you never know what you're going to get every month. This one month I got Bursting Forth. It's BFL, 75% and 25% Tulsa silk, and this is 4 ounces. Also from their Top of the Month Club, To and Fro. It's 80% organic Polworth and 20% cultivated silk. And another month I got Sweet Time, which is 60% Polworth and 40% Tulsa silk, and I've got 4 ounces of that. Those are all kind of similar colorways with multiple colors in them, and I think that I'm going to chain ply them because I want the colors to show up as they do in the roving, rather than in a barber pole. This I love. It's Masham, Baby Llama, and Tussa Silk bats. 135 grams, and it's from Feldview Fibers, and they are in the United Kingdom. It took some time to get my package, but once I did, I was thoroughly pleased with all of their all of the fiber that they sent me. I was especially pleased with this fiber. As I said, it's Masham, Baby Llama, and Tussa Silk. Just look at that. Look at that. Is that not wonderful? That is just wonderful. Oh, I can't wait to spin that. I hope I can make a really nice lace weight yarn out of that. From Three Waters Farm as well, I bought some Corriedale wool, some in the ecru colorway, and I plan on making another skein of yarn that is plied with this. I don't have any desire to create completely white yarn, but I love the look of white yarn plied with a colorful yarn. I think it looks great. I bought 2 packs of Rolags from Naturally Knitty, and they are each 2 ounces, so I have 4 ounces total, and it's in the Keeping It Real colorway. And as I stated in one of my other podcasts, my favorite fiber preparation are Rolags, because they spin so well, especially when you're spinning on a spindle. To do some plying with, I got 8 ounces of the Pearl colorway solid merino top from Paradise Fibers, and also from Paradise Fibers, also a merino top, I got 4 ounces of the Mink colorway, also to do some plying with. From Bellevue Fibers in the UK, I purchased Royal Peacock Feathers. This is a different bat set than the bat set that I used called Peacock Feathers to spin the ball of yarn that I showed you earlier. This is Royal Peacock Feathers, and it has a longer gradient with more colors in it. It goes all the way from yellow to green to blue to purple to sort of a raspberry color. And it's merino, and each package is 150 grams. I bought 2 packages. And I really, really love it. I will end up chain plying this because I want to keep the color solid. From Three Waters Farms, I purchased some multicolored adult mohair locks, 2 ounce packages, and I bought 2 of them. I wanted to learn how to spin mohair locks. It's something I've never done before. I've seen it done on YouTube, and you know, I'm looking forward to figuring out how to do that. I want to show you what one of the locks looks like. See, I don't want to comb this out. I want it to keep its curlies when I spin it. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. I know it can be done. And again, these were from Three Waters Farm. I love just about everything Three Waters Farm does. This was sent to me from Fairview Fibers as a gift with my purchase. And it is the colorway Purple Iris. It is a 50-gram braid, and it is merino and bamboo. And I appreciated that little gift so much. I think this would look good plied with probably these Rolags from Naturally Nitty. Or because it has yellow in it, it may look good plied with something yellow. We'll see. Well, thank you for joining me today as I caught you up on what's been going on around here. If you like what you've seen, please click the like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And until next time, bye-bye.